Okay, get cozy. We're gonna have a late night talk. So I'm not very good at talking, to be honest. I feel a lot of the time I'm quite like introverted and shy, and when I meet people they always think that oh my gosh, she's so quiet, she never says anything, which is true, because when people talk to me and I don't know them very well, or I'm not comfortable with them, my mind literally goes blank and the only response I have is really? Oh, cool. It's so bad. But then when I'm like with my closest friends or just by myself, I feel like I can express myself so much better and I can say so much more, and things just randomly like come into my head as we're speaking. So I feel like there's like two different sides of me that some people see and some people will never see, and they'll just judge me off of the side that they know. Actually, I feel like there's a lot of different sides of me. Some not good, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, so this YouTube channel, I just wanted to somehow make people fall back in love with life through, whether that's like poems or journal, like I can't remember the word, like journal articles that I'm saying like poetic form on the side of a video, or if it's through these discussions that you'll watch, or not discussions, I'm not talking to anyone, but me just talking and maybe finding comfort in that, or agreeing with some things I'm saying, what is going on, or just feeling like you can speak about deeper issues or deeper thoughts that maybe you can't speak to any of your friends about. That's why I want this to be here, and I want you guys to kind of fall back in love with life, even though life can be tough, it can be so difficult, it can be heartbreaking. But I know from experience there's so much good in life, so much, and it's kind of a cycle of a cycle, did I say that right? It's kind of a cycle of like kind of going through a bad stage or not thinking positively, and then like after I have to remind myself of all the good things and how grateful I am and the gratitude, and it's an endless cycle. It's endless, but I think it's so beautiful when people can look at life and see it so positively and see it as such a beautiful thing, even if they are like, they don't have the best in life. You know, those people who barely have anything, but they give so much, and they just want you to be happy and you to be comfortable, and they keep giving, whereas like other people, maybe they have everything but they're miserable. They, you know, they don't see life in a good way. So I feel like I'm just going off on a tangent. I don't know, this wasn't a topic I was going to talk about, but maybe that'll be another topic. Yes. But yeah, I want to help people see the beauty in life, and if anyone's depressed or anxious or hating life at the minute, I hope these videos can give you some sort of relief from that, and just know that there's hope and there's always good times in life, and good times will always come back around. So I really hope that through this, bit by bit, you can see the beauty in life, even in the tough times, even in the challenges, even in the amount of discipline we have to have in life to be able to do things, to be able to do anything well. It comes with such beauty as well, even though it's tough. But yeah, that's just a little side note. But yeah, so I posted a video, I don't know when I'm gonna post this one, but I posted a video and it was of just like a poetic verse that I wrote, and I put it over a video of me and my friends that went to Dublin, and it was about we are fragments of everyone we ever met. And I feel like that's such an interesting realization, to really realize that we are ourselves. Don't get me wrong, we are who we are, but we're made up of so much more than that. We're made up of literally everyone we've met, our parents' habits, our friends' habits, and even like lovers. Any songs people recommended will always remind you of someone. And in a way, it's so beautiful and it's so sad, because a lot of the people that you're made up of, you'll never see again, and it's kind of like a fleeting moment and a fleeting experience with them. And whenever you hear this certain song or whenever you hear this certain phrase, it's straight away going to remind you of that time or that person. And in a way, I guess that's kind of beautiful, because no matter how temporary someone is, they will always stay with you, which I guess is like good and bad depending on if you want them to if they're a good person or not. But yeah, it's just so interesting. I can think of so many times when, especially songs, when people have played me a song and I kind of forget about it, or I liked it, and then years later I hear the song again, and straight away the first thing I think about is that person, that moment of them playing that song. So yeah, and I think just going to Dublin kind of reminded me of this, because I went with my two closest friends, but we live really far away from each other, so we see each other maybe once, twice a year. One of them lives in London and the other one lives in Scotland. I had to think about that for a minute. I do know where she lives, I do. But yeah, so she lives in Scotland, and we just decided to go to Dublin because it was honestly the closest and cheapest place where we could all meet. We were thinking Manchester originally, but it would have taken so long for me to get to, like 8 hours or more. And it was really expensive because, oh my gosh, the trains in England, you can literally get a flight for a quarter of the price of a train in your own country, which is, I'm gonna get in a rant, I don't want to talk about that, but yeah. So we decided to go there in Dublin, and also because we knew some friends as well who lived in Dublin, or live in Dublin. So we thought it'd be nice to see them as well again. We hadn't seen them, it hadn't been that long, maybe like some of them a year, some of them a few months at that point. But yeah, so we went, and it was like so nice to, and kind of weird actually, to see them again and see them in a different era of their life, you know. But it was somewhat beautiful because we met them again, and it was as if we never spent that long away. You know those friendships where you like are best friends, you get along so well, and then you don't end up seeing this person for ages, and you don't like contact them, and then you see them again, and it's as if that time was never there. Like you could just speak to them how you did a year ago, and it was as if you were never apart. I feel like those friendships are so beautiful, and yeah, I just love those friendships. And with the people in Dublin, it was like that. Like we could just chill and spend some time there. And yeah, and then it got me thinking that like these people, there are some people who are like kind of strangers that when you pass by, they'll maybe, I don't know, compliment your outfit or something, and you'll be like, oh, and you'll kind of remember that moment, right? And it kind of like, maybe you'll keep wearing that piece more often or something because it impacts you. But then there are other people, like my friends in Dublin, that they're not a part of my life often, but they still shaped me, and I still remember the times of them years before where, I don't know, we went on like a trip together or a gathering or something, and I just have memories with them, or like being on a team in a workshop or something. It was just so interesting, and then to see them there again. And then there's also like the people who you are really closest to, who really impact you, and like my two closest friends who I went with, and they are always there. They linger, they stay. But they don't linger. I guess the other people linger, the strangers linger, but they stay. But yeah, and I think, yeah, it's just interesting how like so many different people are so interconnected, and it's so beautiful because I think a lot of us feel that we're alone, and we, you know, we're the only ones dealing with our issues or etc, etc. But in reality, we're not alone, and we're so interconnected without even realizing. You don't even realize how influenced you are by other people, and how much someone's comment or someone's talk that you had with them or an experience that you had with them, how much that impacts you in the future, and how much that makes who you are right now. And I think that's so beautiful, because even just like a catchphrase, a phrase that someone said, and then you somehow caught along, and then 5 years later you're still using it, and it reminds you of this person. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just rambling. But yeah, I think when I meet people now, it's like, especially if I haven't seen them in a while, it's kind of just like reminiscing on the moments I had with them before, and how much they've impacted my life or changed it, or how much they've changed. And it's just, it's a nice reflection that you're not alone, but you're made up of everyone you've met. And that also means that you can relate to everyone, even if it feels like you're unrelatable. Even if it feels like you're unrelatable. I think, I don't know, I get that a lot as well, because I'm very, as I said before, introverted and shy when it comes to new people. And when it comes to people that I'm not comfortable with, I get nervous, or there's nothing going on up there, you know. But still, I think somewhat, even if you're like me and you're not the most talkative, you still impact people in some way, whether that's through a random gesture that you did, or your laugh, or like anything that can stick to a person, you will influence them. And I think that's so nice, that you don't have to be the loudest to be interconnected into this world, and to be able to connect and enjoy life through people, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more I could say on this topic, and it's just such a sweet like realization that you're made up of everyone you've met. Everyone, whether that's good or bad, I guess, because some people aren't the best influences, and some people have bad intentions, and some people just aren't great, I guess. But I don't know, I shouldn't say that, because I like to always think the best in people, and to think that everyone is trying their best. Whether that's the case or not, who knows. But yeah, that's why I wrote that little poem. But I hope this chat was nice, and that you felt comfortable, and that, yeah, they got you thinking a bit, and maybe thinking about your friendships in life, and how much you treasure them, or like what sort of things you've got from what sort of people, the habits or the phrases. And yeah, I think when you cherish those sort of things and you look back on them, it's like so kind of rewarding, like you're growing in life along with the people that you're meeting. It's kind of like milestones, I guess. Yeah, thanks for the chat, and I don't know how to end this, so I'm just gonna go, but have a good week.